Hi, this is Andy. Today I want to say something bold right up front. Most teams are not falling behind because of talent. They're falling behind because of misunderstanding. And the communication gaps that we have in our workplaces quietly destroy performance every single day. So today, you guessed it, we're going to fix that. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Leading Life Podcast, the place where leadership meets real life. Here is where we talk about leading with intention, living with clarity, and getting better results for the people we serve every single day. If you're ready to grow, you're in the right place. Right now, on today's episode, how elite leaders close communication gaps. My promise to you, no fluff, no empty motivation, just actionable steps today that you're going to be able to put into practice as soon as possible. The distance between what leaders think they said and what people actually heard is where the communication gaps live. The best leaders close that distance. The bottom line is, when I think about what's the most essential ingredient to leading people to excellence, over and over again, it comes down to one thing, and that is communication. Even if you don't do the other things that make up being a solid leader, it's the communication that will really make or break you. Today's workplace moves fast. Information is constant. Expectations shift. Stress is high. And when communication gets fuzzy, our performance can get shaky. Confusion creates hesitation, second guessing, frustration, and disengagement. Here's the truth strong leaders understand. Clarity is a performance multiplier. So when people know exactly what matters, they move faster, they think better, and they perform stronger. Think about things that are going on in your life or things that you've been through. Think about even the current state of where you live or politics. As we know, politicians have to be great communicators. So I was thinking to myself the other day, who has been a really great communicator over time? And there's so many that come to mind, and even like Ronald Reagan, our president throughout the 80s, was known as the great communicator. But for this episode, I wanted to highlight FDR. So Franklin D. Roosevelt served as our president from 1933 to 1945. And that was right through the Great Depression and most of World War II. So if you think about it this way, America was scared, unstable, and uncertain. Banks were collapsing. People were losing everything they ever had. And our trust in leadership was extremely low. But FDR understood something critical. Policy alone wouldn't fix it. People needed reassurance, clarity, and connection. So he started a series of radio addresses from 1933 to 1944 called his Fireside Chats, which was in total, about 30 speeches. They were broadcast nationwide over the radio, and he delivered them in a calm, conversational tone. And it was designed to feel like he was speaking right into your living room, which essentially was. And why this was so powerful was a couple reasons. Number one, what FDR did great was he made complex things simple. FDR explained complicated issues that were going on, like the banking crisis, and he talked about it in a plain language that people understood. Instead of sounding like a politician, he talked more like a teacher. So he would convey that, hey, your money is safer in the bank than under your mattress. And that level of clarity restored confidence almost overnight for Americans. Number two, he spoke with the people, not at them. So he used phrases like, "Listen, my friends," or "let me explain," or "I want to tell you what's happening here." So it felt more personal, it felt human, it felt direct, not so scripted and distant like some speeches we hear are. Number three, he reduced fear through clarity. That's amazing. Confusion triggers fear. FDR did the opposite. He explained what was happening, explained what was being done about it, and explained what people could expect. And that calmed our nation. Number four, he built trust through consistency. He didn't just do one speech. He showed up again and again. And he spoke about the banking crisis or economic recovery efforts, wartime updates. People began to feel he's with us and we're going to get through this together. And here's the neurology why that worked so well. Franklin D. Roosevelt intuitively understood something we know now scientifically. And that's when people feel uncertain, our brains activate threat mode. Fear spreads quickly and decision-making will start to collapse. But when a trusted communicator reaches us, they do it with clarity, calm tone, and simple explanations, that shifts our brain back into safety and reasoning mode. That's exactly what high-performing leaders do today. After his fireside chats, people stopped panicking. Bank runs slowed down and confidence began to return. So it wasn't just communication. It was so much more than that. So now that we know we can be more effective through making the complex things simple, speaking with our people, not at them, reducing fear through clarity, and building trust through consistency. Let's talk a little bit about why these gaps are happening and why some leaders ignore them. Number one is the expectation gap. This is a classic leadership trap. You explain something once and you assume alignment. Weeks later, results are off track. And it's not because people didn't care. It's because they weren't clear as leaders. So elite leaders define success visually and specifically. They check understanding early and they eliminate guessing. They don't say, hey, does everyone understand? They say more like, tell me how you see this priority. And that one shift can change everything. The other gap is the priority gap. Number two, modern teams are drowning in urgency. So there's emails, meetings, metrics, and requests from every department and direction. So when priorities aren't crystal clear, people spread effort everywhere and impact nowhere. So strong leaders consistently reset the focus. They repeat the top goals, they simplify direction, they remove noise, because this is the leadership reality. People don't need more motivation. They just need clear direction. And in all my years, the thing I have seen the most is that we dilute the picture with all this extra stuff that means nothing, and we forget about the goal that we originally set at the beginning of the year. Again, the priority gap. Don't let it happen to you. And let's talk about number three. The other gap is the feedback gap. Many leaders wait too long to coach. So they hold back the feedback. They avoid small corrections. They hope problems fix themselves. But elite leaders coach in real time. So they will recognize progress immediately, correct when they need to, gently but quickly, and then create momentum through conversation. Silence from a leader creates anxiety, but guidance from a leader creates confidence. And closing that feedback gap builds relief. I have had many leaders over the years come to tell me something about another leader. And I always look at them like, why are you telling me? Why aren't you having that conversation with them? And this leader goes on, thinking they're doing a great job. That leader has never spoken with them and give them the truth and the feedback they need to really progress and do well. All right, so gap number 4 is the vision gap. And this one's really huge. Leaders announce the vision once and then they kind of move on. But teams don't live in strategy decks. They live in daily pressure. Elite leaders connect the dots constantly. They remind people why the work matters, who does it help, and what success will create. So when vision is clear, energy will rise. People will work harder for purpose than they will ever work for pressure. So here's 5 fast leadership moves to close communication gaps this week with your team. This is your action plan. So starting tomorrow, begin every team interaction with the top priority. Ask one clarifying question before giving direction. Give daily micro feedback. Restate the bigger mission regularly and end conversations with clear next steps. Let's go over that really quick again. So tomorrow, I want you to begin every team interaction with the top priority. Ask one clarifying question before giving direction. Give daily micro feedback to your team. Restate the bigger mission regularly and then end conversations with clear next steps. Leadership is not about saying more. It's about being understood faster. So here's your leadership reality check. Average leaders communicate once. Strong leaders communicate until alignment happens. They don't get tired of repeating clarity. They understand repetition is not redundancy. It's a leadership discipline. So when communication gaps close, execution starts to speed up. Trust will deepen amongst the team. Culture strengthens and results will follow. This is your call to action for this week. I want you to notice something. Where are people around you still guessing? Where are they still moving in the dark? I want you to step in, not with pressure, but with clarity. Because leadership is not measured by how much you talk. It's measured by how clearly others can act. Okay, so here are 5 steps to remember that will help you close communication gaps and be more effective as a communicator. Number 1, remember clarity over complexity. Leaders make things easier to understand, not harder. Number 2, emotion plus logic. Remember, our people think with logic, but they act with emotion. Number 3, repetition with purpose. Leaders don't just say things once, they reinforce it until it sticks. Number 4, be authentic. Leaders sound like themselves, not like a role. Number 5, they move people to action. So that is my episode. If this episode gave you practical leadership insight, please share it with someone building a team or growing their influence. I hope this impacted you for the better. And if it did, please leave me a rating or review. And please hit subscribe so you don't miss another episode of the Leading Life Podcast. I'm Andy Zook, and until next time, I want you to lead with purpose, live with intention, and keep becoming who you were meant to be. But most importantly, go out today, be the hero of somebody's story. To stronger leadership, to an amazing week, thank you for listening. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.